If you think there's an age where it's too late to start something new, I need about 7 minutes of your time. Because I started something completely over at 77 years old, and I'm about to tell you exactly what that actually looked like. Not the highlight reel, the real thing. For most of my life, I thought I understood how the story went. You work, you build what you build, and by the time you're old, you're done. You coast. You watch from the porch. That's what I expected for myself. I'd worked construction, run a mowing business for 13 years, pastored a small congregation for longer than that, tried 8 different businesses over 40 years that never worked out the way I hoped. By the time I hit my 70s, I figured my building years were behind me. I sat in a chair more than I'd like to admit, wondering if I still had anything left to offer. Retired. A little forgotten, if I'm honest. The kind of quiet where you start to believe the story is already written. Then a friend sent me a link. I almost didn't open it. I want to walk you through what actually happened because I think that really matters more than the highlight version. I opened that link out of boredom more than hope. It was about learning some AI tools, things I had zero background in. I didn't grow up with computers. The first week I felt like a fool. Everything took me 3 times as long as it should have. I made mistakes that I'm sure looked obvious to anybody watching. I had a comment on one of my early videos pointing out a typo. That's what happens when you're in a hurry and old, I told him. Still one of my favorite comments to this day. But here's the thing nobody tells you about starting over at any age, let alone mine. The first 90 days feel like nothing's working, even when something actually is. You don't see the progress from inside it. You just see how far you have to go. I kept at it anyway. Not because I felt confident, I didn't. Because I'd already learned something from 8 failed businesses that I didn't understand the first time around. The discomfort of starting isn't a sign you picked wrong. It's just what starting feels like every single time. Slowly it built, not overnight, not in some dramatic turn, just one small thing after another, the same way I'd learned to keep bees, one patient season at a time. And somewhere in there, I stopped being a man in a chair wondering if his useful years were behind him and became a man doing something new at 78. I think about the years I spent believing my window closed. Nobody handed me that belief. I built it myself, out of assumptions about age that I'd never actually tested. I don't think I'm unusual in that. I think a lot of people are sitting somewhere right now at 30, 40, 50, quietly deciding they're when to close too, based on the same kind of untested assumption I was making at 77. It wasn't true for me. I don't think it's true for you either. If any part of this sounded familiar, if you got a version of that chair you've been sitting in, telling yourself it's too late for whatever you're thinking about, I want you to hear this plainly from somebody who actually tested that belief and found out it was wrong. It's not too late. I'm not saying that to make you feel better. I'm saying it because I'm the evidence. If you want to see more of what that road has actually looked like for me, the honest version, not the polished one, I'd be glad to have you along. Links in the description if you want to take a look at what I found. There's no pressure either way. I'll see you Sunday, Wednesday.